Hey, dude. Where have you been?
Well, I've been down in the vault looking for something special to watch.
Oh, really? So what did you find?
Mate, you're in for a treat. This is seriously one of my favourite movies. I present to you Inside.
Wow, with an introduction like that, I guess I can't not watch it. So, what's it about?
Shh. It's best if you watch it without knowing anything about
Your
it.
vagueness unsettles me.
And it begins.
I actually feel a little bit sick.
It begins.
I'm actually I'm not exaggerating. I actually feel a little bit sick.
Fuck. Huh?
How you doing so far?
I don't know, just the anticipation is yeah, it's alright at the moment. It's alright. Let's keep going.
It's okay, dude. It's okay.
Just describe it to me as it's happening. Oh,
I think...
I don't want to hear the impact.
Oh, you're gonna have to. Sorry. She's sterilizing the... Oh my god, those scissors are fucking massive. Oh my god. Alright, oh god, here we go. Oh god, here we go.
No.
She's rubbing it up against it now. I forgot she goes through the belly button. She goes through the belly button. Oh my god. Oh, she just slashed her face. She's now stabbing her. They're having a struggle. Horse and carriage. Alright, she's kicked her off the bed. She's smacked with a lamp.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm.
Oh. Fuck, man. This is just like...
I've forgotten about all the things in this movie. Is it too much, dude?
It's just so intense.
Stuck through the pillow.
Oh.
Isn't that deep? We are officially halfway.
Oh, fuck.
Do you want to take a break?
No, I'm just gonna get up and have a cigarette. Oh, fuck. Oh, fuck. Oh my god.
Is it too gory?
It's just... No, let's just get through it. Let's get through it.
Oh, she's got it by the hair. Yeah, there she goes.
Oh,
Ah.
no. Why don't... Oh, man, this is too much. This is just like...
I didn't realize she's... Oh man, I've forgotten so much about this movie.
I actually do feel sick. I think I'm gonna vomit.
Alright, that's enough of this then. Minutes later.
Oh, God. My insides hurt.
Welcome back, dude. You missed the scene where she starts to vomit milk and blood, and then the baby starts to crawl out of her mouth.
Oh, no. Not again.
That was fun. Boo! And welcome to Into the Minds of Madness, the podcast in which we delve into the dense and varied world of horror films. Boy, do we love horror films. Well, I love horror films. We're doing something a bit different this time. I, your local horror aficionado, Chris Dicker, joining me as always, is this time a very, very scaredy-cat, Paul McWhirter. How you doing, man?
We found my breaking point, didn't we?
We found the breaking point.
I know we're not that far in. We're at this only episode 8, but I'm actually surprised it took this long.
Me too, to be honest. Like, I did start with some... They're not scary. Some of them are scary, but they're more just gross, some of the films I started. But this was the first scary film I showed you. And I think I chose probably the scariest film, scariest slasher probably ever made, in my eyes.
Yeah.
Do you want to say what we watched?
We saw Inside
Oh,
from 2007.
how do I pronounce this? Aléantreur. I think that's
I
correct.
think that was actually pretty good. Yeah, that sounded good.
All right, I'll take it. Getting a bit of a shake going on, man.
Before we started recording, I was pretty excited to do this, but now I'm actually kind of shaky.
Because you've got to delve back into it.
Yeah, and this is, I guess it's a little bit different this time as well, because we usually watch the film then record straight away.
Yeah.
And I couldn't do it.
Our young Paul here only made it to 44 minutes, 44 seconds.
44.
Whoa. This has never happened. I love this movie. I want to get that straight across. This is one of my favorite movies ever. This is probably the 4th or 5th viewing, and this is the movie I show people when they say they know a scary movie. I'm like, you got to sit down and watch this. Everyone's made it through. This is the first time anyone's ever not made it. I was so happy. It just confirmed that this is a scary fucking movie.
I promised myself that I'd try and at least make it halfway, and I made it past halfway.
You did.
At least.
I gotta say, for what you got through some heavy shit. Like, this movie, it's brutal and realistic, and that's what fucked with you, I imagine.
Yeah, it was the realistic part of it that really fucked me over. That really did a number on me. Yeah, I guess. Well, as you probably would have heard in the earlier sketch.
Yeah, that we did not write that. That was genuine.
That was actually my that were my actual reactions. Well, maybe at the end of the episode, I'll just put them up without any context from the sketch or anything like that.
Yeah, you can just listen to them.
Yeah, you can just have a listen then. I really struggled through this. Just the brutality and the realism of it. Sheer
brutality. I'll give you the plot synopsis straight off the back of the DVD.
Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm feeling weird. Yeah, just.
I've got to get my announcer kind of voice going on, hype up the selling of the film. Get ready for the most gruesome, terrifying, and disturbing film you've ever seen.
Sorry, just before you continue, tick, tick, and tick.
Yep, nice.
Not hyperbole.
No, that's just it's one of the first times like a DVD cover has not lied. Like it has not hyped it up. They fucking nailed it. 4 months after pregnant Sarah loses her husband in a horrific auto accident, she is visited on Christmas Eve. Let me read that one. She is visited on Christmas Eve by a mysterious madwoman. Alone and desperate to save her unborn child, Sarah fights to stay alive as each of her potential rescuers die at the sadistic woman's hands. With scene after scene of shocking carnage, Inside delivers unbelievably realistic gore that dares you not to look away. If you were in a shop and you read that, you'd buy that. You wouldn't even. That's what happened with me. I just started reading and I was already at the counter when I finished it.
Although the other thing as well is just to say that the realistic gore dares you not to look away. Well, because it is a French film, it's subtitled. You can't.
Yeah, it traps you.
I mentioned that as we were watching it. It's like I'm trying to look away, but I want to follow the dialogue. So it's kind of like I just had to kind of put my hair down across my eyes a bit just to block out what was on top and just read what was on bottom.
It's not like when you're at the cinema and you put the popcorn in front of you. Like you'd be that weird guy putting it down from the top. Like
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, from the top. Yeah, like, just so I could read the subtitles, still follow the plot.
I'm glad you brought up subtitles because I just wanted to bring up there's nothing more than I hate in the world than someone brushing off a film just because it's foreign and because it's subtitled.
I really don't understand that.
Me neither.
I've only met one or two of those people, but they're very, very vehemently against it.
They hate it. They're so against it, and
don't understand it.
They're missing out on so much stuff. It upsets me that people should. I sound a bit cocky, but ignorance, not willing to open their mind and take something else on.
I don't think there's anything ignorant about that. I don't think. Yeah, I think it's. No, sorry. I mean,
cocky.
Nothing cocky about it. It's totally ignorant. Yeah, I agree. I completely agree with you.
In my eyes, some of the greatest just films in general are foreign films.
Yeah.
And when they get remade for the people who don't want to watch it, you lose something.
Yeah, I agree.
Just straight off the bat, I want to give a couple. Actually, no, we'll save it for the end. I'll give us some good recommendations for foreign film. If you enjoyed what we're talking about and you want to, this is probably the most brutal it's going to get. But if you want to check out something else, I'll give you some recommendations at the end.
All right,
how about that?
Sweet.
Beauty.
Sounds good.
All right, so let's kick off. we're going to talk about Paul's 44 minutes of sheer terror. What do you remember?
That's actually a really good question.
Because you couldn't even get notes down.
Yeah, I could not. All I wrote down was the name of the two. Well, of Sarah, the main character.
Yes.
And her boss, was it?
Yes.
Well, at least colleague.
No, it's her boss, Jean-Pierre Montauban.
Yeah. So they're the only notes that I had written down. So what I remember. Okay. So I'll go through the plot this time instead of you.
Yeah, see what plot you get.
See what I can pull from.
I'm down.
So I remember. So we start with the car accident that's mentioned in the plot synopsis.
Oh yeah.
That's straight off the bat. Like
that's like you.
That was horrifying. Right.
They haven't even got to like the title of the movie yet. Like
no. I'm getting
It's probably just corn syrup, dude, and food dye. Like it's.
So we see Sarah, in her crashed vehicle with her husband, I guess, or boyfriend.
Husband, I believe. Yeah.
Matthew.
Oh, I didn't even remember that. Good work.
Because I just remember she says her name.
Yeah.
She says his name, and just the injuries, like the cuts in her mouth and things like, and the blood coming out of her mouth was just. There was something so realistic.
It was spot on, which is so scary.
Yeah. And then with Matthew, I don't know how to pronounce it, but it's obviously Matthew. That would be the translation.
Yeah, Matthew.
Matthew. Yes, and I'm even just thinking about all the glass in his face.
Yeah, like his head's down, but he's just covered in blood, and the whole windscreen is covered in blood and smashed in, and all Sarah can do is now just hold her stomach. Yeah, that's all she's got left. And, you just see the carnage from the other car as well, and the gore doesn't stop there with the fucking just the title sequence. And just viscera.
Just before that, is it just before the title sequence or just after it?
What, the baby?
Yeah, the baby.
Yeah, that's the opening of the film. You were seeing the baby inside the womb in utero.
Was that before the car accident?
Yeah.
So that's the very first thing we see. Then it's the car accident.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I've got that around the
that baby's in that car accident.
Yeah.
Yes.
And so we see a baby in the womb, pretty much hitting its own windshield, kind of thing, which was that was horrifying.
What a way to start it!
What an image!
This movie starts brutal and doesn't stop. It just keeps you on the edge of your
Definitely
seat.
Didn't stop for me.
No.
And so the next thing I remember is the title sequence, which is literally just all
viscera and gore
and
blood.
And so the next thing we see is Sarah getting an ultrasound.
Yes.
At the hospital.
This is about 4 months later.
4 months later. I guess it's the only part of the movie that I actually could watch properly.
Yeah.
She leaves that room and then she sits with that woman.
Oh, that weird nurse
who smokes a cigarette and just starts saying just weird shit about.
Her first pregnancy, it tore her apart and all that sort of stuff.
And the last one died and just all this
awful shit.
Oh no, that's right. She says the first one tore her apart and then died anyway.
Oh, that's
say something
right.
Like that?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh god. And she's sitting there smoking a cigarette, and then Sarah doesn't even talk back to her until she just calls her a twat and just walks away.
Yeah, because another nurse came up and said, you can't smoke here, and she said that everyone here is an idiot. And twat.
Yeah, so great. I don't think it's her mum.
It is her mother. Mum? Yeah. Okay. She's never actually says it herself. She always just calls her Julia. There's an anger there.
Thrown off by. Yeah. So they're walking out and. You can tell Sarah's just completely depressed.
Yeah, she is a wreck. It's almost as if she doesn't even want to have the child now. She just wants to get it over and done with.
Yeah, get it out of the way.
Mm-hmm.
The next thing I remember is her sitting in the park and taking some photos.
Yeah.
That's where we meet Jean-Pierre.
Yeah.
And I was just like, who is this? Who is this random dick?
Just having a chat, sitting down, talking to her.
And he's on his phone.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And he's walking in front of her while just pacing in front of her while she's trying to take photos, and then. He starts talking to her, and she talks back, and I'm like, oh, they fucking know each other?
Yeah.
That guy, what a dick that guy is.
I thought that was... I love that little, there's a little bit of lightness in the movie was the bits with
Jean-Pierre. Yeah.
And,
it's just like, what a fucking dick.
Yeah, but... Yeah, and I love just her reactions every time he walked in front of her. Just a little... But
what a piece of shit.
I want to say something about the movie is... as I said before, this is my fourth or fifth viewing, and each time I just notice something new.
That's right. You mentioned that a few times.
In that park scene we're just talking about, if you're watching it for the first time, pay attention to the right, to the bushes. You can see La Femme. That is the intruder. This is the woman that is about to attack Sarah. You can see her in the bushes staring at her in the park.
Yep.
Which is revealed later in the movie when she develops the photos and sees her in the photos.
That's right. I completely forgot about that scene.
So you can actually, and it's such a brief moment, but if you're looking for it, it's such a satisfying thing to actually, oh my God, she's actually physically standing there. That's horrifying. I love that.
So then the next thing so she organises to have Jean-Pierre take her to the hospital in the morning.
Yeah, give her a lift.
Because being Christmas Day, there aren't going to be many ambulances.
Mm.
So might as well get it sorted out. So come meet me at 6 in the morning at my place. Here's my keys. Then, so that's the exchange in the park. She heads home to turn in for the night.
Mm.
That's the next section. Where she has another conversation with her mother.
Yeah.
/ Julia.
Yeah, they have she's getting tired of the same conversation because her mum's doing what mums do. They worry.
Yeah, and is almost insisting on taking her to the hospital. It's
Yeah.
like, no, I've got my own way.
We've talked about this as something she says a lot of the times, and
Yeah.
I'm tired of this. Hangs up on her.
Yeah,
She's actually, even though she's a very sad person, she seems like a very independent
yeah.
person.
Yeah.
She just doesn't like to be helped.
Yeah.
Doesn't want to be asking for help at all.
Yeah.
But
Next thing is, all right, here we go. This is where
La Femme.
this is where the anxiety really started to hit me, because this is when the suspense starts.
The suspense is so good.
I'm pretty sure she goes to a bedroom to turn in for the night. Is that what she does? And it's raining and a storm outside, and we see there's a crack of lightning. Is that what happened?
You're sort of, yeah. You've got bits of that scene you missed. You probably heard it.
Yeah, this is when my memory starts going a bit weird.
So this is the moment where we're introduced to something sinister is about to happen.
Yes.
And she gets the doorbell rings, and she goes and answers the door, and
yes, of course.
and
of
it's
course. What a terror!
I loved it. It's such a good scare.
Yeah.
The woman's this person on the other side of the door. Sarah's scared, doesn't want to answer it. She's pregnant and alone, and she starts saying, my car's broken down, my phone's died. Can I come in and use your phone? And Sarah is like, no, sorry, my husband's asleep. You can't come in.
Yeah, he works early.
Yeah, stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, the woman says, "But Sarah, that's not true." Something along these lines.
Your husband's dead.
Your husband's dead.
Yeah.
And she freaks out and bangs on the door a couple of times.
Who are you? How do you know my name?
Yeah, all that, and disappears. And that's when we end up.
Okay.
She goes around the house, locking everything up.
Locked, of course. Yes.
And then she ends in the living room, and the woman is standing at the glass door.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it.
And she just lights a cigarette.
Yeah.
And stares at her
while Sarah's flashing, taking photos of her.
The photos of her.
That's the only all she could do was call the police, and
that's right. It's not thunder or lightning or anything. It's her taking the photos.
Yeah, sorry, that's what you got confused with.
That's what it was. Okay.
But speaking of that scene, I love the shot outside. That scene, and it's from behind, from La Femme from behind. It's dark. You can just see the glow of a cigarette a little bit, and it's just the flashing of the camera, but no sound, just the rain.
Yep.
Beautiful, and just slowly rising up. Yeah,
and it was this moment where I was like, "Is it the nurse from the hospital?"
That was such a clever trick that they did.
Yeah,
place a character that creepy person someone meets who looks almost exactly like the killer. What a sneaky way to just throw you off.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Yeah,
and also at this moment is and then after we come back inside and she punches the glass and she cracks that shit. That's the moment I feel like she's taking control now.
Yeah.
It shows her confidence.
Yeah, and as soon as that happened, I was just like, fuck, here we go.
Yep. So, what do you remember? Do you remember the police coming?
The police rocking up?
Yep.
So they turn up. Yeah. This bit's funny, actually. Well, not funny, but...
This is the scene I've watched it, as I said, 4 or 5 times, and I've never noticed it. Go on.
As they enter, I was just like, why the fuck did they leave the door open?
They left the door open. God. Come on,
away,
guys.
I was like, here she comes.
Come on. And
here she comes.
then we see her. She's
I didn't see her.
You didn't see her? Ah. Well, after this moment, the female police officer sits Sarah down in the lounge room and is having a talk to her. And what I always, because you're focused on those two, I always thought it was just another cop walking in the background. But you just see her, the femme, walk straight in, head down, walk straight through the hallway and into the kitchen.
The first thing you said was like, "Oh, did you see that? Holy shit! I keep picking up on these things." That was confident as fuck.
She's ballsy as
that's
shit.
Exactly what you said.
She knew exactly what she was doing. She didn't give a fuck. There was 3 cops there. Oh, terrifying. So, what happens after that? Do you remember?
I believe the cops do a
leave,
walk around.
yep.
They check everything. They say we'll come back and check up on you later.
Yes.
Then she sits on the couch,
Oh.
terrified. And this is when you said, "Hey, just look in the top left corner." I'm like, "Why? Why should I? Should I?"
Well, yeah. You
Should
think
I?
it's. You just think you're seeing black behind her. She's sitting on the lounge against. You're seeing the room behind her on the couch, but you think it's the. You see the hallway. It's just the darkness of the hallway, right? No.
And then it zooms out, and it's just you see her face kind of hovering. It's just like, oh my god, she's wearing all black. She's just camouflaged into the silhouette.
Yeah,
Like,
she's been standing above her this entire time while Sarah's been watching TV, and
Yeah.
then she just slowly moves into the darkness,
Yeah.
turns and walks away.
Okay.
Who needs jump scares when you got that?
Oh god. Then okay. The next bit is when Sarah actually decides to turn in.
Yes.
Oh man. And this is when you said, okay, you might want to look away here.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This is when shit goes down.
You started explaining to me what was going on, and I was just sitting there, just absolutely squirming.
You couldn't even look at it.
And I was like, please just talk me through it. You said, oh god,
Felt like I was announcing a horse race.
Yeah, I wasn't even watching it, and it's giving me shivers.
Mm.
So she sanitizes, kind of, I guess, numbs Sarah's belly,
And she cleans the giant metal scissors that she uses.
which is pretty much her weapon of choice.
So this woman's intent. She doesn't have a baby. Sarah's having a baby. She wants Sarah's baby.
Why does she want Sarah's baby?
Ooh. We can't talk about this movie without spoiling it. Let's just get it out of the way. It makes more sense once you know what this woman's intentions are.
Yeah.
She is actually the woman in the car accident at the beginning. That was her baby that we saw in utero that got killed.
Yes.
And now she wants revenge, and she wants Sarah's baby.
Yeah. So
She's
going
determined.
to take Sarah's baby
Via scissors, via home, bit of a
home cesarean.
DIY.
Ooh. Oh, okay.
DIC.
Goodness gracious. All right. So.
Well, you didn't see this, so yeah,
so you should. You should
man.
take the reins on this
Oh my
bit.
goodness, just
Oh, well, I sit here and squirm.
yes, she grabs the scissors and she's dipped it in some alcohol, some sort of clear liquid, and she decides to begin the cut via belly button. Oh, she gets a little snip, and just that snip alone is enough to just make you feel so uncomfortable. Sarah wakes up and she just slashes her face with the scissors, and a struggle ensues. Oh my god, just so much shit happens.
Sarah's able to run away and make
She gets in the bathroom.
This is when you said, okay, gore's over, chase sequence, pretty much.
Yeah. She's gonna be trapped in this bathroom for a while now, dude.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, thank God. Like, but I was still kind of almost hyperventilating a little bit at this stage.
Because like even though she's safe, like her water breaks.
Yeah.
And
as soon as she gets into the bathroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's just like I always heard that adding a ticking clock to something can always add to the suspense and add to the and this what a ticking clock is to have the baby is about to be born.
Yeah.
She's going through contractions while trying to survive this onslaught from this woman. And yeah, fuck. So yes, there's been many attempts throughout the movie for her to be saved, and you witnessed the first attempt,
which was her mother
and Jean-Pierre.
So Jean-Pierre arrives first, doesn't he?
Yeah, so now Sarah's locked in the room and La Femme can't get in. She's really pissed off that she can't get in.
Yeah.
And then notices Jean-Pierre walks in. And
because he's got her keys, so he just wanders in.
Yeah, they have a conversation.
He thinks it's
It's her mother.
It's her mother.
Yeah, he's never met her and doesn't know what she looks like, so straight away.
And there was a moment when they're on the phone when they talk about Jean Pierre being like a little bit older, and it's kind of seems like her like Jean Pierre and her mum kind of want to meet. They kind of Sarah, they kind of want to start something.
Yeah, her mum Julia definitely wants them to get together for sure.
Yeah.
Like, and that's a bit harsh to make the woman who just lost her husband 4 months ago.
Yeah.
To, jump back in the saddle.
Yeah.
It's a bit harsh.
And then when he finds out that La Femme is kind of posing as her mother.
Well, yeah, because her mother walks in.
Says, yeah.
Yeah.
But he's almost like Jean Pierre's almost like, oh, you're Sarah's mother, are you? Like, I don't know. It doesn't seem like Jean Pierre's interested in Sarah in that way at all. And then he meets her mother in quotation marks.
Yeah,
and
it kind of changes a little bit.
Ooh, I'm kind of into you. And that's kind of how it seems anyway. And then her mother walks in. Does she even interact with Jean Pierre and La Femme?
She stops and she says, "Who are you both?" And then like there's an altercation. Jean Pierre's like, "Who are you? This is her mother." And Julia's like, "No, I'm her mother." And she storms upstairs.
Yeah, like, where's Sarah? Like, yeah, it's like, okay, I go upstairs to the bathroom.
And one of the most easily the most devastating. I put it on the level of like the end of The Mist. Like, this is one of the most devastating moments in a film. Sarah has, during this time, it's been a while now that she's been locked in this room by herself.
It's been at least like an hour or so. Well,
no,
Jean-Pierre was supposed to turn up at 6 a.m. So this is kind of supposed to be.
Oh no, she called him over to look at the photos that she developed.
Oh,
that's right. Yeah, I forgot about it too. Yeah. So it is only about like 2 a.m. or something like that. But yeah, she's been in there for about like 20 minutes by herself, and she's got a sewing needle ready to go. Her mum opens the door, and of course she doesn't realize.
It's almost like her mum's just trying to like
get the door open,
and Sarah doesn't realize it's her mum.
Opens the door
and just stabs her right in the neck.
Straight through the neck.
Yeah, it was just crazy. It was unbelievable.
Yeah, that blew my. That just. Every time it's still and it's like straight through her neck.
Yeah,
she pulls it out even.
That was probably the only bit of like proper gore that I saw. Yeah, as well, and that was the most devastating one.
It's awful. Like, it's so effective in what it does, but so shocking. Yeah, just so. She has to watch her mother like. Almost don't want to talk about it.
it's. Oh yeah, I'm actually kind of feeling. Yeah. Can we move on from that bit?
Let's not. Yeah. Well, so basically. We've pretty much got to your Jean-Pierre cops it.
This is when I'm kind of like, okay, I'm gonna have a cigarette.
Yeah.
I just need like stand away, kind of have like a couple deep breaths with not so fresh air, and then I kind of just start hearing what's going on. So this is when I believe Sarah kind of starts screaming.
No, it still sounded like a scream. It's actually just it's like a really metallic sound effect for like for every time she stabs, it's like a wow.
Oh,
wow.
No, but that's isn't
when she's attacking Jean-Pierre.
Yeah, did she start attacking Jean-Pierre because she heard Sarah screaming about her mum? Was that kind of how she ended up just going for him? Or was it kind of happening?
Oh no, because she was just ready. She was going to kill him anyway. Yeah. She was letting this happen. She realized what she'd done to her mother, and she's just letting Jean-Pierre go up the stairs. And that's when she scissors him in the knees and takes out his old pal Percy.
Yeah, but that sound effect was terrifying as well.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah. So effective. Yeah. Just a wow. It's like a metallic baby cry or something like that.
It was really strange. It almost sounded like a knife being sharpened kind of thing. Yeah, or like a sword coming out of its sheath.
Yeah,
like this like really elongated, like kind of stretched out version of that. It was terrifying sound. So I was standing there having a cigarette, just being like, oh my god.
Try not to panic.
What the fuck's not happening? I'm getting really hyperventilating.
And then we move on to. There's a brief moment. You last a couple more minutes after this bit, and there's a tipping point for you.
So Jean-Pierre and her mother are both dead. Mm-hmm. Sarah's locked herself back in the bathroom.
Yep.
La Femme is.
That's right.
Is sitting kind of at the bar.
Just before La Femme has another attempt to get in, and it's as Sarah's closing the door. La Femme puts her arm through the door. I don't think you saw this. This is probably when you were not looking. Yeah. And Sarah manages to stab her hand a couple of times.
Okay, yes.
And that's when
I saw the aftermath of that.
Yeah, yes, she freaks out. She rips it out with her teeth and
Yeah.
stuff out of like this, I don't know what wood or whatever it be.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's when she ends sitting on the floor,
Yeah.
talking to Sarah a little bit. This is the first time they actually speak to each other, and
She kind of has a spaz out as well and like stabs the wall.
Yeah.
And she can kind of like see through the hole, and she kind of starts talking to her like that, then collapses it in the hallway, and I'm like, okay, it's calmed down a bit now.
and then the cat.
Oh man.
I don't. Let's
this,
just.
this is actually what the part that broke me.
Yeah.
The cat comes up to La Femme and
She's
like kind of
patting
sits
her
on her
arm.
lap, and then that was what I said. I was just like, no, you can't do this. You can't do this. You can't do this. Crack.
Yeah.
Snaps the cat's neck, and it's really realistic as well.
Mm.
And that just
Like that's.
that was where I'm just like, oh my god, how can they do this kind of thing? And then that was like when I was just like, I feel sick. I'm gonna vomit.
Yep, that was it. That was the 44. There was the doorbell ring, and that was when you were like, I'm out.
Yeah.
And I just want to I love horror. I love this movie, but I cannot condone. I hate it. Like I'm working on a theory of dogs in horror, and like it's like an animal or a dog is usually used to like show like it's like a family member being killed.
Yeah.
But they always like snap its neck or do something awful. I fucking hate it. Like this is the one thing in this movie it's effective to show how crazy she is and how angry, but could it have been implied?
Yeah.
Cause I just heard like the little meow, and that's the end of it. Like, but anyway,
So I guess this is where this movie broke me.
yes, broke is probably the best word. This destroyed you.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's kind of half the reason why it's taken us a week to be able to.
Yeah, we watched
do
this a full week ago. Yeah.
Yeah. I went to your bathroom and just kind of, I didn't vomit, thank goodness.
Yeah. Thank
I had a weird like anxiety burp from hyperventilating too much and like kind of swallowing too much air, like getting into my. So I had this weird anxiety, and then I was kind of just like, okay, breathe deeply, and then I heard you call out to me, and I was like, yeah, I think I'm good after about 5 minutes. And I walk back inside to where the TV is in South Park, and I'm just like,
Yeah. I knew there was no
I
way.
need something light and something comfortable. Like
There was no way we were gonna finish that movie.
yeah, and I appreciate you not pushing me into it. I'm very proud of myself how far I got.
I gotta say,
Did
yeah.
it for the pod. And I told myself when we started that like this horror thing, like that you were gonna try and get me into horror. And I am getting into it, but not this.
We found the horror you don't like.
Yes, we have found it. Perfect.
Give you Vincent Price any day,
Yeah, baby.
but
Give me pricey, baby.
keep the French duo of Julia Maury and Alexandra Bastillo well and truly away from you.
Please. Yes, please.
Keep the new wave of French horror.
Yeah.
Or I'll just, I'll give you, I don't know, what's the movie? A Vincent Price, like The Fly remake of the original Fly, but it's actually
Yeah.
The Martyrs or something really fucked up like that.
No, I'm not going near that.
But
Alright, well, do you want to talk me through the rest of the movie?
yeah, I'll just give us a quick sum up of what happened. Like at the 44-minute mark. This is a short movie, so you've seen a good chunk of it.
Yeah,
You've-
I made it past halfway.
all you've really missed is the final big confrontation. That's basically what the rest of the movie
Yeah,
is. It's
so
just
there was about half an hour to go after that.
yeah, probably that.
Yeah, yeah.
But so at this moment when you paused, you left. The police have come back to check up on her. It's a new group of them, and it's kind of the usual thing when police turn up in a horror movie. They're a bit bumbling, and
Yeah.
they attempt, but they do eventually.
And still leaving the door open before letting her in the first place.
See, I probably should have watched the entire thing again after we paused it, but
Yeah.
I just didn't come back to it after that.
Yeah.
Like I turned my PlayStation off and I lost the part I saved.
Yeah.
Oh, first world problems. And just chapters. Ugh. But anyway, so the police come and La Femme answers the door and they have a strange altercation. And she tries to convince them that she's Sarah, that everything's fine. There's no need to check up on us again. Everything's totally fine. And the police are about to leave, but one of them has a moment of realization. Hang on, this woman's not pregnant.
Bumbling realization.
Yeah. So they go back inside, and they are just killed. They are brutally killed. Like the first is stabbed to death with knitting needles, while he attempts to arrest her, and the second is shot in the back of the head as he attempts to help Sarah. He comes into the room and gets her, and bang, he's gone.
Okay.
And the third, he's got a prisoner because they had a prisoner in their car with them. He had to go inside with them, and the power cuts out, and it's just both.
Okay.
They're dead. And so this is when the final confrontation happens between the two, and it's awesome. It's such how a fight would happen. This is how
It's very messy and
this is why I feel
very,
like,
very passionate.
yeah, it's very much she had a plan, but it all fell apart, and this is how it would happen. And you're just trying to get it. She can't walk away now.
Yeah.
The femme can't walk away.
Yeah.
So yeah, they end up they're using household appliances and stuff like that to just try and
Just anything they can get their hands
and anything they could. And they end up in the kitchen. And one of the funniest moments in this film, I wish I could find the clip. I'll find it maybe later. Fucking Sarah whacks the shit out of her with a fucking toaster. She's holding the cable, and she spins it around, smacks her in the head.
Sick.
The sound of it is as this fucking toaster bends and shit. Oh, it's fucking out of Looney Tunes.
Oh man.
But and in this moment, as the woman is holding her face in pain, 'cause she just copped a metal toast to the face, Sarah manages to, and the femme is smoking as well. She's got a cigarette in her mouth.
Yeah.
Sarah notices an aerosol can has fallen next to her, so straight to the face.
Oh,
So yeah,
nice.
so yeah, you missed some cool shit.
Wow.
So straight, and she gets, and she's screaming in agony and all that sort of stuff.
Oh.
You see left in the kitchen on fire, face on fire mainly, and Sarah starts to leave. But then, a scene that never made sense to me until I went and reread what this actual film is. One of the dead cops just comes back to life and attacks Sarah. And I always thought, what the fuck is that? That's such a cop-out, cheesy, lame twist. Could they not figure out what it was? But then I discovered reading this that he actually was shot by the woman with his riot gun. So it was like a taser.
Ah, okay.
And so he didn't die from the gunshot. It's kind of shook him back, if you like the paddles.
Yeah, okay.
And he thinks he's still helping Sarah, but he's actually just attacking the first thing that's in front of him, and it's Sarah. And he ends up punching her in the stomach.
Oh.
And that's with his club, hits her with a club, and that
Jesus.
with this moment, La Femme actually comes to her aid and kills this officer. And now Sarah is on the verge of death, and the baby is starting to be born, and it's stuck. And so
it's almost like La Femme's saving the baby.
Yep.
And it's like, well,
An
Sarah's
attempt to
gonna
save
die.
Sarah, yeah. And
It's like emergency C-section.
she goes back to her original plan.
Jesus
and
Christ.
Sarah, she ends up on the staircase, and we watch as she cuts Sarah's large belly open. And it ends with us going up the stairs and seeing Sarah open, covered in blood. And it ends with, you see in a dark room, the woman sitting in a rocking chair, holding the baby with just smoke coming off her face. And cuts to black. Whoa. What a fucking movie. I'm sad you missed it, but I don't think you could have got through the rest of it. No way.
I don't think I could have. No.
No.
Just physically. Like,
Even now, you're still shaking.
yeah, I had a real physical reaction to that movie.
Which I would prefer. I'm glad that it was that rather than, oh, this just sucks, because people are scared. They don't quite understand it.
Yeah.
It's like, why are you watching something so brutal? Whatever. You had a physical reaction because it is a fucking brutal movie.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Mm.
mean, it had I guess, for them, the directors, they'd be happy with my reaction because
They would have loved it. They would have loved these. I haven't, because I've only got one of their films, Livid, which is very different. It's almost like that movie that recently came out, Don't Breathe, but instead of it's petty crooks, it's actually breaking into just a dude's house. It's breaking into an old ballet teacher's house. And it's a weird vampire ballet haunted house. That's probably the least brutal film.
Yeah.
But these are the guys who've been in charge of the Texas Chainsaw Massacre prequel, Leatherface growing up. and becoming Leatherface.
Yeah.
I've heard it's same level as Inside.
Oh, I won't be watching it then. I saw the
We'll see.
I saw the remake with Jessica Biel in it.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't mind that. I mean, but that was I guess when that kind of mid 2000s, early 2000s to mid 2000s kind of wave of horror. That's kind of what I watched, and then by the time
all
I
the
was,
stuff Michael Bay produced,
and then by the time I was about 20, I was like, nah, I'm done with horror now.
horror is very much
That's when like Saw 5 or 6 came out. And
Oh,
I'm like,
God.
okay, fuck off.
yeah,
I'm done with this.
because it's basically we pretty much finished about talking about the film. Yeah, that's very much it stands out from that saturation of that. I'm glad you brought that up, the Saw and all that, because the market was just saturated with a lot of these kind of films, and this is being pegged as the first of like the new wave of modern French horror.
Yeah.
And it blew everyone who thought the Saw movies were gory. It blew it out of the water.
Yeah,
Would you agree? Like you could watch Saw easily compared to this? Well, not easily.
Yeah. Just because I guess the deaths and stuff are like a lot less realistic. Because they are, and because they're running out of ideas. Obviously, they just get stupider and stupider.
Yeah.
So I actually randomly saw a clip when I was flicking through Facebook.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was Chester Bennington from Linkin Park.
Oh yeah.
Was in one of them. And
Yeah.
it was his death where he's like kind of stuck to a car seat and it's just ripping his skin off as he's trying to pull himself off it. Yeah, it was. I'm pretty sure it was just an animated GIF of it.
Yeah.
Of just him just going like and just trying to pull his skin off.
Wow,
that's. And I saw that it was tagged with like Saw something.
That's like
So-
Ren and Stimpy or something, like them super gluing Ren to the chair or something like that.
Yeah, so it's just, I'm pretty sure I was posted on,
Oh.
Anyway, yeah.
So all in all, let's we'll sum up Inside. I love this movie. It is a fantastic example of foreign horror and like what is out there.
Yeah.
And it's just taken realism to that extra. That's just, it's not over the top. It's too real.
Yeah.
You almost wish it was over the top.
Yeah. I almost wish this was like Body Melt so I could get through it. Where it's just so like ridiculous that it's not realistic.
Like,
anymore.
did you need
It's-
the Sarah's baby to like fall on the floor and run around and choke out La Femme or something
Yeah,
like that?
something like that. Yeah, or like as La Femme, it's like as La Femme's cutting her open, the baby just leaps out and just kills her, and then and then somehow is able to like revive Sarah all by herself. Like
Everything's fine.
yeah, everything's fine. They have a happy ending,
High
and then suddenly out of nowhere, Matthew walks through the door like, "Honey, I'm home." Like, and they can be
high
a
five
whole happy family.
High five freeze frame. High five freeze frame. Every movie should end like that.
Yes, please.
But
me, for fragile little me, yes, please. Thank you.
we forgot. Actually, no. Well, I'll put you through enough. If everyone check out the movie, there's a nightmare scene.
Oh, God.
Do we want to quickly talk about it?
Yeah, let's talk about it. That's probably the most Body Melt thing about this movie.
Yeah, it is actually. Because I'm thinking, there's no scene where the baby comes out. Oh my God, there is.
Yeah.
So in this, Sarah's, she's relaxing for the night. This is before La Femme is attacked.
Actually, I'm pretty sure it's La Femme ringing the doorbell that wakes her up from this nightmare.
I believe
isn't
you're
it?
right, actually. Yeah, you're. Fuck yeah, bang on.
Wow, I'm surprised. I was paying attention.
You
I
had your
wasn't
moment.
watching, I was paying attention.
She's fallen asleep in her chair knitting, and then suddenly she's gasping for air and just can't get any air in or anything like that. She falls to her knees, and she's just forming milk, and then blood, and just pours out of her, and she falls to the ground exhausted. Ugh, already disgusting. Like as soon as a character vomits milk, like even in like the Alien films when you see an android go, it's so gross. Why milk? But yeah, then like she rolls onto her back. All of a sudden, her mouth starts to open up, and a baby is coming out, and like the blood coming out of the mouth is like when you put like liquid in a speaker, and it's just bouncing around. Oh,
man, yeah,
it's so gross.
That's where I looked away, and so my stomach started churning because it was disgusting, and then my anxiety started churning my stomach as well. So that was not a good mix.
They were just it was very much like throwing make you suspenseful as shit, and then just
and then throwing that disgusting stuff in there, like not like that was gory or anything. It was just disgusting.
Oh, wow.
Horrendous.
What a film! I'm so glad we got to cover this movie.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
almost sorry I made you watch
You're
it.
almost sorry.
But I took so much pleasure in watching you squirm. What does that say about me?
Oh my god! I just almost sorry.
Almost sorry.
Fuck you, dude. Fuck you. Oh god.
So yeah,
Well, do you wanna let some other foreign films that could
yeah,
be,
like
so you said these kind of aren't as gory, but there's some really interesting foreign films.
definitely. Like if you're like myself and you're keen to just check out something new and you're totally fine, you're the type of person who's not cool if you have to watch anime in the English dub. Like you'd rather watch it subbed. Here's some great ones. The Host, or I can never get it, Garamore. One of the best South Korean films ever, and it's one of the best monster movies ever. Really great. It really heartwarming. It's not like it's it's from all perspectives of the military side of it, but it's also it focuses around a vendor who lives on this river where this monster comes out and takes his daughter, and yeah, heart-wrenching movie. It's great.
Cool.
Julia's Eyes, I believe that is a Spanish film, produced by Guillermo del Toro.
Okay.
Slow burner about a woman losing her sight and believing that she's being stalked by somebody and having to be blind, working her way through these moments. And occasionally you see it from her looking through the bandages, and yeah, really good suspense. Not much. There's a couple moments of gore, but it's that kind of whack. There it is, right in front of you, kind of like Hitchcock. You just see something. Yeah.
Okay.
Rec 1 and Rec 2 are the best. So many people have probably seen these. People have seen the American remake Quarantine. Quarantine can, it's like a fat one. I hate that movie.
Is Quarantine with Morgan Freeman and stuff, and the helicopter under the bridge?
I think that's Outbreak, dude.
Oh, it is Outbreak. Damn it!
I do. Dustin Hoffman.
Yes.
The monkeys and shit.
Yeah,
I love that movie.
I get Quarantine and
Outbreak
mixed up all the time.
I watched that for science class.
Me too.
What the?
Me too.
Marsden, what's going on, man?
No way.
Outbreak is not science.
That's how I remember it so well.
It should not be curriculum.
Okay, so me, Todd, and CJ,
Yep.
we're the Three Musketeers in high school kind of thing. We'd play GTA, and we'd always jump in the helicopter and fly it under the bridge. Be like, bro, outbreak, bro, outbreak.
That's
it
great.
was the most fucking ridiculous movie, but I fucking love it.
I love it. Every time it's on TV, I'll sit down and watch it. Is
it one of those movies that's on TV?
Yeah, it's kind of like the late night
on
movie.
Gem
Yeah,
or something like,
definitely.
Oh, that's awesome.
It's
I need
so
to keep
cool.
an eye out there.
Definitely, man.
I need to watch that movie again.
But it kind of fits with Rec and Rec 2 because they're found footage zombie movies in like part like just like Quarantine.
Yeah.
Oh, they balls to the wall horror. Really,
Okay.
really good. Really effective scares. None of the cheap found footage stuff.
Yeah,
Really
okay.
good. Again, subtitled.
Yeah.
Dead Snow. I love this movie. German Nazi zombies in the snow.
Yes,
fantastic.
I have heard of this movie. Yeah.
I need to tell a story from my brother told me. He was invited to a movie night and everyone had to bring a movie. And he said, he borrow Dead Snow? Totally. Go for it. Just be careful with it. He comes back after that night and said no one wanted to watch it. They said, fuck off. It's got subtitles.
So this is where your earlier rant comes
Oh, I was disgusted. And I can know the dude too. And I just didn't speak to him for a bit. I'm like, this is a really good movie.
from. Yeah. Yeah, you're missing out on A+ content.
Yeah.
Just because it's got subtitles.
And last, I got a couple more. Old Boy, really good. It got remade recently, but check out the original. The ending is just shattering. It's kind of the level of, the mum getting a sewing needle through the neck.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Akira, one of the best animes ever in my mind. Like, I'm physically disgusted if it's put on in a dub.
Oh,
I can't hear it. And Troll Hunter, I believe it's Swedish or from Finland, I think.
Yeah, I believe so. I've seen this on either Netflix or Stan.
Really good.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's just a couple of standout ones. Just looking at my collection. Yeah, check it out if
Awesome.
you're looking for some foreign horror.
Sweet. There we go. All right. Well, what are we doing next week, Chris? I'm actually really excited. Can I introduce this one?
Yes,
I'm excited. I've never seen this, but I've heard so
neither.
much about it. It's called Orca.
Orca the killer
Orca.
whale.
I'm
Man.
really excited about this. So it's pretty much like a Jaws ripoff after like they kind of discovered like, that apparently, pretty much once they called orcas killer whales, they're like, all right, well, let's do that.
Yeah, and it's like a reverse Moby Dick as well. It's like the whale getting revenge on the fisherman.
Yeah, I didn't think about it that way.
Well,
That's
because
great.
it's
Oh,
the.
I'm talking about it like I've seen it, just because we talked about it so much.
I was looking at the cover last night, and it's the story of an orca who this fisherman kills its pregnant mate, and he's
right.
getting revenge.
Yes.
1970s orca revenge film. Fuck,
That's gonna be awesome.
that's more. You can't ask for more than that.
I'm so pumped.
And again from Umbrella Entertainment.
Ah, yes.
Good Aussie. Like,
Good Aussie distributor.
I haven't found a bad movie they haven't released. Like, I think I've bought just about everything they've released. Like, fucking, as soon as I saw Orca, I just saw the cover.
Yeah.
Oh my god, yeah.
It's so, yeah.
It's either gonna be amazing or so bad it's the greatest movie ever.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm so pumped
So,
for
yeah.
this. I'm so pumped for this.
back to the 70s, dude.
Yeah,
I'm looking
sweet.
forward to it.
Awesome.
Looking
Awesome.
forward to
All
it.
right. Well, let's wrap it up there. I'm
Yeah.
so fucking glad we got this one out of the way because that fucking ruined me. Please
Just
don't
wait
do
for
that
the
to
next.
me again.
Mm-hmm.
Please don't do
I
that to me again.
I think it's about 10 more episodes in.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much going to be around every 10 episodes. I'm going to have a bit of a struggle.
Yeah. Might need a bowel movement or something.
Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. Well, thanks heaps for listening, everybody. Really appreciate it. Hit us up on all them socials at ItMumPod or Into the Minds of Madness on
Yep.
Facebook. ItMumPod@gmail.com for any suggestions. We've been getting a few actually
Yeah.
from Matthew Frost has thrown us in a couple. Mick McConnell has.
Yeah, try and surprise me, guys, because some
Yeah.
of you have surprised me.
Yeah, you've been thrown a couple of good ones, haven't
a couple of good ones. Some I'm like, come on, man, you know me. Like that one about the Belko experiment last night.
Oh yeah.
Or the other night, I saw the message. I'm like, you don't even know me. I saw, but someone
with Belko experiment, I'm actually really surprised that I didn't know about it. It's got all these people I love in it.
it was it's very under the
Yeah.
radar, but all of a
It's got
sudden,
Big Head from Silicon Valley in it.
oh fuck, it does too.
Yeah.
It just kind of came out of nowhere. Like it, all of a sudden the hype is huge.
Yeah.
Everyone's talking about
Well,
it.
it must be something to do with South by Southwest kind of thing, like the same kind of thing with how some people got shown a little bit of footage from it, same kind of thing.
Yeah.
That's probably where all the hype's coming from.
Yeah, it's James Gunn is directed or produced
That's right.
it.
Yeah.
But keep on coming. Like, love to hear movies I've never heard of, especially like something from the 80s or 70s. Like, give me something good.
Actually,
man.
I was holding on to this to
Ooh.
ask you, so I might as well ask it now.
Oh yeah. So something another one from Mick. Dude, you've got some good selections so far.
Our friend Mick McConnell, previously mentioned, has just asked if you're a fan of Vampiros Lesbos.
Oh, I haven't got that one yet.
You haven't got it.
I've looked at it like every time I've gone to JB, and I was like, do I want to watch that? Is it just gonna be vampire chicks with their tits
So
out?
you've never seen it? Okay.
Never seen it.
All right, that's interesting.
Cool.
There you go, Mick McConnell. There's your answer.
I'll put that on my shopping list, Mick.
He can't say he's a fan yet.
Yeah, I
He
haven't
hasn't
done any
seen it.
research on it. Vampires aren't something I really dig. It's got to be really, it's got to be Nosferatu or something like that
Okay.
to really get me in.
It does look pretty.
But yeah, I'm keen then.
Yeah, it does look pretty like kitschy and stuff.
Yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah, it looks very, very like Brighton Hammer.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Yeah. So there you
Alright.
go. So yeah, keep sending them. It's really cool. Like I like asking Chris and just being like, "Ha, stumped him."
Yeah.
Got him.
It's always nice to be stumped.
All right. Yeah. So thanks heaps, guys. Keep the suggestions coming.
Mm.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks with Orca.
Yes. Oh, and thanks again, Gay Paris, as always.
Oh yes, for our theme song.
Huge thank you.
Biggest legends.
Hope you guys like us doing it, or at least like the pod.
Or probably haven't even heard of us, which is also fine.
I'm cool with that as well. I'm cool with that.
All right. Thanks, guys. See you in a couple of weeks for Orca.
Rest in horror, guys.
Rest in horror.